Your Honour, Madam Chancellor, good morning everyone. I'm Stephen Toop and I have the honour to serve as President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia. Every year at Congregation, UBC bestows honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Lisa Sennerby-Forsse is one of those individuals, and I invite her to step forward to receive her honorary degree. Madam Chancellor, Lisa Sennerby-Forsse ignored the conventions of a traditionally male-dominated field to emerge as one of Northern Europe's most influential leaders in forestry practices and research. After obtaining her master's and doctorate degrees from Stockholm University, Dr. Sennerby-Forsse worked as a senior scientist and soon thereafter became a program leader in the Department of Ecological and Environmental Research at the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences. She continued her advance in leadership roles when in 1994 she became Director of Research at the Swedish Forestry Research Institute. In 2000, she was appointed as Director for the Department of Natural Resources in the Swedish Environmental Protection Agency, and the following year, she was named Director General of the Swedish Research Council for Environment, Agricultural Sciences and Spatial Planning. In 2006, she returned to the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences, where she remains in the institution's foremost position as Rector, from which she has provided leadership and guidance to an extraordinary number of government, scientific, and environmental organizations. Examples include service on the advisory boards of the Swedish National Agency for Higher Education, the Swedish National Veterinary Institute, the European Science Foundation, and as chair of the Swedish Scientific Council for Climate Research. Her current appointments include as board member to the Research Council for the Nordic Council of Ministers and Sweden's branch of the Worldwide Fund for Nature. The extraordinary depth and range of her activities have been recognized through numerous awards and honors, including the Royal Gold Medal from the King of Sweden for outstanding achievements in agricultural sciences. Madam Chancellor, in recognition of her pioneering leadership and for her impact on the science and practice of forestry in her homeland, I ask you to confer the degree Doctor of Science honoris causa upon Lisa Sennerby-Forsse.
By authority of the Senate of this university, I confer upon you, Lisa Sennerby-Forsse, the title and degree Doctor of Science honoris causa.
It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Sennerby-Forsse to say a few words.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, Dr. Toop, faculty, dear graduates, proud parents, ladies and gentlemen. Gee, I was thinking, listening to this nice presentation of myself, is that really me? It's fantastic to listen to such nice words, and I feel very humble today. I accept this degree with a tremendous appreciation, but also with huge humility. The great honor that UBC has bestowed upon me belongs to so many other people whose contributions have been significant for the turns of my life. Most important, of course, my family, husband, 2 sons, and all the colleagues and friends that I have encountered during these years. Actually, what brought me, a biology student, into the forest sector was a very special teacher. He was a professor in forestry from Finland, and his name was Gustav Syrén. He had a vision. His vision was to replace fossil fuel with biomass from the forest and from fast-growing tree plantations in Finland and Sweden. We call it energy forestry, and it is still there. He started this novel research in the beginning of the 70s, when Sweden was still heavily dependent on oil import for our energy supply. Today, Sweden uses more biomass from the forest than oil in our total energy supply. So his vision actually came true. Gustav Syrén was an outstanding mentor, and his support meant a lot. The forest community is, as we all know, by tradition, a male world. And he gave me, a young woman at that time, self-esteem and courage to meet the challenges of moving upwards in a system that does not always present equal opportunities to everyone. Luckily today, that has changed. In fact, a lot has changed for the better. And in Sweden today, women in forestry are increasingly found at higher positions in academia as well as in industry. But there is, of course, still much left before the so-called glass ceiling disappears in Sweden and elsewhere. We need in forestry, we need excellent and motivated people, men and women in the forest sector, both in silviculture, in science and in industry. Forests are of immense importance to us, and they impact our daily lives in so many ways. Services provided by forests cover a wide range of ecological, political, economical, social and cultural considerations. Most important, forests are home for a multitude of organisms, among them plants and tree species which have been around for millions of years and which now face an uncertain future due to unsustainable use. Climate control and atmospheric purification is key for human existence, and trees and soils help to regulate atmospheric temperatures, which helps to stabilize the climate. We need nature conservation for our forests, but we also need to understand better the powerful abilities of forests to benefit climate change mitigation. The challenge is to create sustainable production systems for energy, food and raw material for industry. And the ongoing bioscience revolution will change the way we look at our possibilities to create a sustainable future, and it will enable us to produce trees that, for example, can grow on infertile sites or that are resistant to insect damage or other pathogens. that are probable to increase with a warmer climate. And we need the forests for our well-being. People who spend time exercising in the forest environment receive more health benefits from the exercise than those working out in a gym. And there are today scientifically well-founded therapies where patients spend time in the forest in order to help relieve stress and generally improve mental health. But despite our dependence on forests in all different ways, not to forget the economic role they play in Sweden and in Canada and many other parts of the world, we're still allowing them to disappear, especially in the tropics. My vision is to save the forest by providing scientifically robust knowledge to enable an increased and yet sustainable provision of ecosystem services from forests in a future characterized by climate change, energy transition, and altered markets for forests, goods, and services. And you students, you are all graduating today from an outstanding university in a mixture of different disciplines. And I would like to congratulate you, either you are in forestry or in the other disciplines, for having made the exact right decision at this stage of your lives. Education is a highly valuable investment, and you are now well equipped to meet the challenges of the 21st century, letting your visions shape the world. Thank you for listening.